Okay, Kabal seemed to be a really popular pick for my next video, but after thinking about it, I'd like if the comments of each video were discussion about the character rather than a bunch of requests, so please don't ask me to do someone next. For the record, my next 4 videos are probably going to be Liu Kang, Raiden, Cassie, and Jackie, but not necessarily in that order. Kabal's fastest normals are his 7-frame stand 1, and his 7-frame crouch 1. Obviously the stand 1 is a lot more suited to confirms and punishes since it has strings and will combo into special moves, while his crouch 1 is more suited to interrupting since it has low profile and will duck highs and throws. His stand 2 is a bit slower at 9 frames, but it has noticeably more reach. His fastest mid starter is his 9-frame towards 4, which does cancel. Unfortunately, the string it goes into knocks down, and all of his special moves are unsafe on block, so it's more suited to punishes than confirming. He also has a 12-frame mid in towards 2, which has a nice confirming string. Kabal's only lows are the universal down 3, down 4, and back 4, none of which can start combos. He has absolutely no lows anywhere in his strings. What's worse, his back 4 is unusually unsafe at -13 on block, either because of its large range or because of his reliance on it. I guess I'll mention now that both of his variations have a low hitting special move. He also has no overhead starter, so remember the universal overhead options. This character seems to be more about poking and chipping than a high-low mix-up anyway. For example, back 1 has some pretty great range, and back 2 moves you in and is plus on block, though it knocks down on hit. Towards 3 also moves in and is plus on block, but it's got some really awful startup. It knocks down and cancels, and the damage is pretty high, so I can see it potentially being used to start punishes, I guess. Stand 4 is pretty tall and seems to anti-air well, and he can cancel it to pick up a combo. It does more damage than any of his other cancels, barring towards 3. And it leaves the opponent grounded while coming out much faster, so it might be good for certain punishes. "1-1" is -3 on block, and 1-1-1 is -5. So both are safe. This is your confirming string from your fastest normal. You can cancel either the second hit or the third hit. Canceling the third hit does more damage naturally, but it launches, which can affect your combo routes for better or worse. Back 1-2 goes from a poke into an overhead. The reach on this string makes it excellent to pick up juggles and combos from nomad dash, as well as start punishes from mid-range. It's -5 on block, but doing back 1-2, down 2 is only -3 on block, as well as doing more chip. So if you're blocked, you should try and complete the string. You should also complete the string at least once per round if you're getting either a punish or a counter hit, as the down 2 yields a crushing blow that does good damage and sets up a juggle state. "2-2" starts off a slower normal than 1-1, but it's only -1 on block, and it doesn't advance, so it's much less committal. 2-2-1 knocks down instantly, but it's also totally safe at -2 on block, and nets you some extra chip, so I think you can complete the string if you want to. 2-3 is an alternate route from his stand 2. It does great damage, but launches immediately and quite far away, which limits his combo options from it. It's also safe on block. Towards 2-2-4 is another combo from a long-range mid, and it seems very fundamentally similar in function to his back 1-2, down 2. However, towards 2-2-4 has the overhead on the third hit, which unfortunately never happens if you cancel to a special move. It's not quite as good in juggles as the back 1 string, but it does come out just a little bit faster, and it does more damage than most of his other non-side swap enders, not to mention it has good Okizeme. The 4 of the towards 2-2-4 string is a damage increasing crushing blow if the string is a counter hit or a punish. This isn't as good as his other crushing blow string, but obviously you'll be trying to land both if you can. His final string is towards 4, 1+3. It's -5 on block, so safe but sacrificing momentum. This is his only safe way to combo from his long-range 9-frame mid, and it is an overhead, but as I said before, it won't combo to anything. When using his 9-frame mid, you either have to cancel immediately into a special move, which is rewarding but unsafe, or use this string, which is somewhat unrewarding, but at least not punishable. For damage maximization, 1-1 is 39, 2-2 towards 2-2, and back 1-2 are all 58, and stand 4 is 70. For your launching cancels, towards 3 is 90, 2-3 is 96, and 1-1-1 is 102. Back towards 1 throws a buzzsaw. The startup is okay, the speed is good, the recovery is okay, and it's kind of hard to jump over. Point blank, it's -10 on block. It's just a little slow to use in most of his juggles. But it knocks down on normal connect, which is very nice. Unlike almost all other enhances, buzzsaw must be enhanced just as Kabal starts to throw it. The enhanced version launches the opponent, allowing Kabal to pick up a juggle point blank. If he's a little further out, he can still juggle nomad dash on reaction to the hit. It's slower than the normal buzzsaw, so it won't work from all the same cancels. But regardless, apart from nomad dash, it's one of his only combo extensions, and it can be used in the same combos as nomad dash, so it's quite useful. If the enhanced buzzsaw punishes something, it plays a crushing blow for about 100 more damage. Back forward 3 is nomad dash. Unlike almost every other attack in MK11, it sets up a combo extension even if you don't spend any meter. In fact, it can't be enhanced. If the opponent is hit on the ground, you get a very small amount of time to pick up the combo. If they're airborne, you get a bit longer, but your follow-up combo will be a juggle rather than a connect on the ground, and the opponent can potentially break out. Nomad dash is actually quite good at catching jumps, too. It can only be used once per combo, naturally. And it's highly unsafe on block. Kabal's other universal special is Hook Slam, down back 4. It has a great hitbox and comes out quite quickly, and does more damage than his other specials. For this reason, you'll probably be using it as your ender after landing nomad dash. It forces a side swap, but so does nomad dash, so combos using both will keep Kabal on the same side at the end of the day. You can enhance it, but it just seems to do a bit more damage. If either the regular or enhanced Hook Slam is a counter hit or punish, it gets a crushing blow for extra damage and a launch. This special is really unsafe on block, so I wouldn't look for the counter hit, but it's pretty fast, so once per match you can start a powerful punish combo with it. Kabal's first tournament variation is Mean Streak. First, down back 1 gives you a buzzsaw that slides along the ground. Unlike his normal buzzsaw, it doesn't knock down, but it does the same damage and you can't duck it, so it's much better for chip and space control. Enhancing it throws a second buzzsaw, which does knock down. Overall, the damage is quite good. The startup of low saw is barely higher than his regular saw. But the recovery is noticeably worse, and of course it's much easier to jump over, so they both have their purpose. Low saw being a low at all is obviously nice for his complete lack of a low game. Back 1-2 low saw is mid overhead low, while back 1 low saw is just mid low. It's risky, but it's tricky to deal with. Mid-air back forward 1 gives Kabal a jumping horizontal saw throw. Being able to jump away while throwing fireballs is extremely good for playing defensively and makes Kabal very hard to approach. MK9 veterans doubtlessly remember instant air gas blasts. There seems to be a very low height restriction on saw, so if you're really fast you can indeed hit standing opponents. but it's a bit harder now since you have to hold up long enough to jump rather than hopping. You can only throw us off from a hop on the way down. They're listed as high, so they're probably hard-coded not to ever hit crouching opponents. You can cancel into the mid-air saw, but it's got a bit too much recovery to allow for a combo. Enhancing it will do nothing other than letting Kabal land faster, allowing him to pick up juggles. The final thing Mean Streak gives you is the most interesting. If you hit back and block together during the startup of Kabal's nomad dash, he will cancel it for one defensive bar. For one thing, this lets you use attacks that aren't really confirms as confirms. If you're blocked, just cancel the dash. It also gives Kabal some interesting pressure options. For example, back 1-2 is -7 on block. But it's 0 on block with the nomad dash cancel. This really helps Kabal abuse his fast normals and reach. Unfortunately, almost all nomad dash cancel options are either minus or barely plus on block, and although they're very plus on hit, they don't give him any new links. Defensive bar is also just very precious since it lets you fall out of combos or use wake up attacks, so if you do too many nomad dash cancels or if you mess one up, you could get killed. Kabal's second variation is clean cut. First of all, this variation also has his air fireball, but it travels downward instead of forward. This diagonal direction is actually the default. To be honest, I think the downward angle is a bit more useful most of the time, but it's really better for baiting anti-airs. It doesn't air-to-air or control space as well as the straight one. Even if you enhance it, it's significantly harder to combo out of. If you do back forward 2, he'll do a low hook grab. This does quite a lot of damage and keeps the same side, so it's an alternate ender to your combos. It's really fast at 15 frames, so as a low, it's much better than low soft for the same mix-ups. Mixing this in is Kabal's only way of making a strong low presence, though it's unsafe on block. In particular, if you hit an opponent who's stand blocking, you get a crushing blow for 170 extra damage. Down back 2 gives you nomad spin. I really don't know what to say about this move. It's not as strong as his low hook grab or his hook slam, nor is it as fast, and it's unsafe on block. In juggles, it does vacuum them in a bit so it hits properly. But his other specials also hit properly in juggles, and nomad spin has less reach. Enhancing it adds damage and hits mid instead of high. But enhanced hook slam still does way more. I thought it would be good for chipping people out, but it's only blocked one time. You can't even enhance it on block to make it safer, only on hit or whiff. His other clean cut special is extended hook, down back 3. I really like this one. It comes out pretty quickly, has good reach, regrounds the opponent, and pulls them in. At the end of the day, Kabal is close and +2. This is a fantastic combo ender to immediately pull the opponent back into the blender. As icing on the cake, it's actually his highest damage ender here. It really seems to me that his first variation is all about staying safe and halting approach while chipping away at the opponent, while the second variation has a better low presence and better momentum, so you can probably pick either one based on the matchup or whether you like to play defensively or offensively. Finally, here are my sample BnBs. You can find notes in the description of this video.